Who was the first woman to fly solo around the world? D. Jerry Mock. Who was the first recipient of Emmy Award? C. Shirley Dinsdale. Golda Meir was the first woman Prime Minister of which country? B. Israel. Who became the first woman to spacewalk? D. Svetlana Savitskaya. Who was the first American woman to go to space? A. Sally Ride. Who was the first female commander of a space shuttle? C. Eileen Collins. Who was the first individual female Olympic champion? B. Charlotte Cooper. Who was the first woman in the world to get a pilot's license? D. Raymond de la Roche. Who was the first woman to set foot on Antarctica? A. Caroline Michelson. Elinor Ostrom was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in which field? C. Economics. Who was the first woman Prime Minister of Canada? B. Kim Campbell. Who was the first woman to win the Booker Prize? C. Bernice Rubens. Who was the first woman to drive around the world? D. Aloha Wanderwell. Who became the first female CEO of a Fortune 500 company? A. Katharine Graham. Name the first woman to win the Grammy Award for Album of the Year twice. B. Taylor Swift. Who became the first woman to win a Pulitzer Prize? C. Edith Wharton. Who was the first elected female head of state in Africa? D. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Who became the first woman to win an Academy Award for Best Director? A. Catherine Bigelow. Name the first female space tourist. C. Anisha Ansari. Who was elected as the world's first female prime minister? D. Siraimavo Bandaranaike. Who became the first woman to swim across the English Channel? A. Gertrude Aderly. Who was the first woman to travel into space? C. Valentina Tereshkova. Name the first female vice president of the United States. B. Kamala Harris. Who was the first woman to reach the summit of Mount Everest? D. Junko Tabei. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize? C. Marie Curie. Who was the first woman to appear on a US $1 coin? D. Susan B. Anthony. Who was the first woman to host a television game show? A. Arlene Francis. Who was the first woman to teach at a university? C. Betizia Gatsedanai. Who was the first woman to be a working member of an expedition to Antarctica? B. Jackie Ron. Who was the first woman to pilot a hot air balloon? D. Sophie Blanchard. Who was the first female computer programmer? C. Ada Lovelace. Who is the first woman in history to win the Best Director award at the Oscars? A. Catherine Bigelow. Who is the world's first woman to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? C. Selma Lagerlöf.